Now it's time to talk about Oklahoma and Texas because we know you have a lot to say about this game. But even if you're not a Texas or Oklahoma fan, this game is very interesting. So Texas sitting as point and a half favorites at home here, but Oklahoma is the top 10 team. So pause for a second there. Usually we see this in college football where you say, hey, the unranked team is favored against a top 10 team. What am I missing here? You're missing something because usually the odds makers get these type of games right. So there's been a ton of speculation about John Mateer. Is he going to play? Is he going to play for how long? How effective is he going to be? Because remember, it was a throwing hand injury. So I think I still have questions about how good he's going to be even if he does play. But Jenks, give us the handicap on this game.
Well, look at how much this spread has changed. Texas is a dog now. Texas is plus 1.5. Everyone is buying in on Mateer playing, and so I'm going to be on Texas here. Double D was giving me a hard time because I was like, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. Well, I am going to play this game. Early on, I thought, here's what's happening. I thought Mateer's definitely going to play. This is one big smoke screen. And because, you know what, Oklahoma does this all of the time. I've definitely talked about this over the years. It's just that you normally don't hear about it because it's generally a cornerback or a linebacker or someone who isn't as significant at the quarterback position. But Oklahoma does this all the time. It's always some sort of smoke screen or misdirection. What I think is happening is that Oklahoma wants Texas to prepare for John Mateer as much as possible. But I don't know if he's going to be ready to go. That's why all of the money is flowing in on Oklahoma. But if you read the headlines, they're completely non-committal. Like Pete Thamel had yesterday a report that says John Mateer may try and play. It's like, okay, what does that mean? He might try and play. It means nothing. And remember, when Dillon Gabriel was at Oklahoma a few years ago, people forget he was at Oklahoma before he went to Oregon. This same thing happened. And guess what? Dillon Gabriel suited up. He went out on the field for pregame warmups, and everybody's like, oh, my God, he's playing. He's playing. They went back into the locker room. He came out. He was not dressed. He did not play. I think that is what is happening here. I think John Mateer is probably going to suit up, and it's looking like he's going to play, but he's not. And because of that, I think there's value on Texas. I like Texas anyway, but I definitely like them getting points.
I think for me, it doesn't change that much, like if it's a point and a half in either direction. But I think the thing that I feel more comfortable backing is the total in this one. Because doesn't it feel like this is going to be a very hotly contested, tight game where I feel like the more dependable factor in this game is Oklahoma's defense. So I know, Jenks, that you've had your issues with Texas's defense.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about John Mateer. Like, do we really think he's going to be 100%? Like, I know he's really shifty on his feet, but coming back from a throwing hand injury, do we think he's going to be 100%, especially in a big-time game on the road? Like, that's what I have trouble, like, you know, trying to make a case for Oklahoma. And so maybe you just go with an under here.
I think that's probably the way to go. I like that a lot. And also think about, even if he plays, and this is what I find fascinating about this, of course Oklahoma wants him to play, but this is still, we're mid-season, and this is an injury to his throwing hand. So this is on the very, very early cusp of him being able to play. Like, okay, you could probably go. But honestly, if you want to be safe and play the rest of the season and not re-injure this hand, you probably want to sit out another couple weeks. Is Oklahoma really willing to risk him this early in the recovery process? Maybe. I'd still think Texas is the right call, but even if he goes, he's going to be limited. The Texas defense will play better than they did against Florida last week. That is a guarantee. And Oklahoma's defense, they're going to try and confuse Arch Manning with all sorts of different looks. Brent Venables is one of the best in the business at that. So I do think this is an under game as well.
Yeah, I think that's what scares me about Texas is that this is a very tough Oklahoma defense.
Yes.
And if Arch has had trouble getting right, and I know some of it is just simply making the throws, this is not going to be an easy test for him. You know, if he struggled against Florida, and Florida's really talented as well, but schematically, Brent Venables is one of the best in the business.
Yeah, he really is. And I think this could be just a rock fight at the Cotton Bowl. You never know. These games are very, very hard to handicap just because of the whole rivalry element, which all rivalries are like this, but this one in particular. And I always give Oklahoma a slight motivational edge because they are hyper-focused on beating Texas at all times. But this Mateer thing has become sort of laughable. Like, even yesterday, Brett McMurphy retweeted, sources confirm that John Mateer may or may not play on Saturday in Dallas.
Why do you need sources to confirm that?
He was joking. He was poking fun at all these reports coming out. Like, these reports mean nothing. Like, look at this. Hey, this guy might play. He's like, he's thinking about playing. It's like, okay, we know. He's thinking about playing. He might try and play. That's not a report. Either he is or he's not. We know he's not out. So is he going to play or not? And these stories saying, well, he's thinking about it. Like, okay, it means nothing, but it has moved the line. That's what's crazy. These reports have absolutely affected this game.
It's crazy. Maybe we just need to check John Mateer's Venmo and see which side he's betting on. But it's an inside joke. He's not actually betting on these games. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.